Good morning. Welcome to Friday Fun Day. So every day is actually Fun Day here, but Friday Fun Day.
Welcome to Friday Fun Day.
So
every day is actually Fun Day.
Excuse me, you guys. Sorry about that. We got it in stereo. My phone was on Facebook, and we're looking around. Where's that coming from? Coming from my phone. Anyway, so last week this is a 4-part series, and hey Ellen all the way from Florida, and Janet and Leanie. So this is a 4-part series. Last week we used the Accuquilt Go, actually the Go Me, the little one, and we cut the pieces that we're going to use today, because we are ultimately making this block. And this block is going to be turned into like a trivet for the tabletop, because sometimes we don't want to commit to a whole big quilt. And I just thought these would make cute Mother's Day gifts. And practical, right? So today we're going to piece the block. I'll talk about the border, but I'm not going to piece the border today. And I'm not going to cut the border today. So we're going to piece it. And then next Friday, Leanie's going to do the Kimberbell. And then the following Friday, which is, so May 6th, Leanie's doing Kimberbell. May 13th, Salima is going to do IQ, My Design Center, and quilt this trivet. And then May 20th, I'm going to do the binding. So it's after Mother's Day, but I'm working on some at home. That'll be my Mother's Day presents. So also, I wanted to ask you guys, did you attend our Facebook open house last night? We had a lot of fun.
I was there.
Yes, Lima was there. Leanie was there, of course. I believe Connie was there and Janet was there. I didn't see everybody that joined, but if not, no worries. If you couldn't join live, it's on Facebook. You can go back and watch it. We offered coupons, and the coupons, so if you sign up for so many classes, you get a coupon. And the coupon, that offer ends tomorrow, which is Saturday at 5:00 p.m. Pacific time. So go on the website, and that's where you'll sign up for the classes, and you'll see the pictures, the thumbnails, pictures of the classes. But go watch the live. Repeat, watch it, because it's fun. And Leanie already signed up for 2 classes. Hey, Wiki Wachi, Florida. That's a fun name for a city. Anyway, so that's the plan. That's what we're doing going forward. I have a couple classes I want to sign up for. Slim was kind enough to offer some on Saturday and Thursday. Actually, a lot on Saturday and Thursday. Those are my days off. So
I just want you in the store
classes
more often.
Yeah, she just wants me in the store more often. All right, so I think, let's see, what time is it? It's about 5 after. So anyway, we can get started. So I'm not going to work with the actual die today, but it's important that I have the cover. And I always save this because I like to protect my dies. So I put the dies back in their original packaging just to protect them. But what's on the back of it, and you can't really see. Let's see if it'll refocus. There we go. On the back of it, so this is the cutting instructions. So what to cut before you lay it on the die. And this is the fabric requirements to make this quilt. But down here is like the recipe for the sewing. So I'm going to follow it. And so I don't know about you guys, but I love making quilts, star quilts. But I always mess up the points. So I have to really, really pay close attention so I don't mess up the points. So maybe you guys can keep me on track today and make sure that I don't mess up the points. So here are the pieces that I cut last week. So I'm going to follow the recipe card and use these pieces. fact, what I'm going to do is kind of lay it out. And we're also, ironing is very, very important. And they recommend that you iron the seams open. And I am going to use a stitch length of 2.0, which my friend Rebecca, who is our long arm quilter, recommends. And she also likes it when people press their seams open. My brain and my mouth aren't connecting very well. I've been up for a minute and I've been doing a lot, but then I sit down and I'm like too chillaxed. So I'm gonna change to my camera to the sewing machine. So on the sewing machine, I said my stitch length is going to be 2.0. Also, I am not using a 1/4 inch foot. I'm using the general purpose foot. So what I'm going to do, hey Mickey, oh, fun, you're going to lunch with your grandson. Well, got to do that. That sounds like fun. So what I do when I use a general purpose foot, hey Jeannie, is I move my needle to the right. And that way I create a slightly scant, I guess you'd say 1/4 inch. And how I do that is I put my needle down and I measure with a seam guide and make sure I'm at a 1/4 inch. You can also tell once you start sewing, you can see if you got a 1/4 inch or not because the points won't match. Anyway, Doris, I did iron my fabrics and I just gave them one quick spray with Best Press. Hey, Miss Marta. Yeah, Salima, I think she's making her coffee right as we speak. Alrighty, so let's get going and change cameras. I'm going to try not to burn myself on this iron. If you hear me scream, it's because I'm burning myself. So I'm also going to use a leader cloth. It's just a scrap. But I'm going to put that in the back of my feed dogs so that there's something that's grabbing the fabric when I start sewing. So I've already changed my stitch length to 2.0. Now I'm going to move my needle over 3 positions. And I determined that on my sewing machine. Everybody's machine is going to be different. So I determined the optimal stitch width is to move the needle 3 positions. Oh, the camera didn't change. It's still front facing. Hang on. Oh, no.
Oh, no, I did.
Good look there.
Oh, no, you're looking there.
Oh, never mind. I'm confusing myself.
You're
Not
good.
hard to do. So the first one, what we're going to do, here we go. Let me get it down where you can see it. So I'm going to take F and B and sew them together. And then I'll take another F and is that a B or a D? Oh, I can't read. It's a D, sorry. I was just telling Salima before class, maybe I should clean my glasses. I probably should have. Okay, so these little guys are my E's. Yes, my E's, sorry. Then I'm going to take my D's, which are these little guys. So on the quilt block, we're starting to sew, like this section here. So this is my E's and this is my D's. So I'm going to sew those together. I'm going to chain sew. And also another mistake I make, I'm really good at making mistakes, is also like, hey, what, did I cut it wrong? It doesn't fit. That's because I have it the wrong way. It goes this way. So if you notice, I'm going to sew right along here, and they've cut the dog ears off, so it makes it easy to stitch, right? Makes it easy to honor that 1/4 inch. So I'm going to just get mine all ready to go. And then another thing, I got carried away and I sewed all the little triangles to the big ones, and then I went, wait a minute, I don't have enough little ones. Well, that's because I sewed them on all the wrong sides. Anyway, If there's a mistake to be made, I'll do it and I'll share it with you. All right. So we are going to have our leader cloth on the bed of the machine. I'm going to double check. Yesterday I was sewing, I'm like, that seam looks kind of small. That's because I moved it 4 to the right instead of 3. So I did some ripping yesterday, which, you know, that is not my thing. It's really hard for you to see because I got fat fingers. All right, there we go. So I'm going to put that fabric right under the foot, and the fabric is lining up right to the edge of the foot. And we're going to go. We're not back stitching. And then we're going to get to the end. And I'm going to come in with my next one. And go. So this is, I mean, this block looks complicated, but Accuquilt not only makes it easy to cut the fabric, they make it easy to sew it. If you're curious, I am sewing on a Bernina 480 today. It's a sewing only machine and it's a 9mm. So it's got a lot of decorative stitches, and the 9mm is nice because the decorative stitches you can do bigger. So I'm going to hit my cut function and I'm going to get a little scissors. So we got this little flag going on. See? So cute. So I'm going to go trim and snip those little threads, and then I am going to change cameras so you can see my ironing. This is our favorite part, right? We love to iron. Amon needs to be here. Amon likes to iron. All right, let me change my camera. There we go. Oops, upside down again.
Upside down?
Yep. Hang on, we got technical issues. It's upside down. Somebody's going to fix it for me real quick. So what we're going to do is so we are actually pressing, not ironing. So we're not going back and forth really. We are just, hang on, we're upside down. We don't want to be upside down.
Oh my God, what's happening here? I'm getting all these messages popping up. Okay, give me 1 second, sorry.
Oh, there we go. All right.
Technology, gotta love it. We did test it before we started.
Yeah, we did test it, but you know, it's just being silly, right? So here's my fabrics. What I'm going to do is set the stitches first. I'm going to set the stitches by just taking, oh, my hand's in the way, taking my iron and putting it on there. I'm trying to make it so my hand's not in the way, but it's not easy. Excuse my hand. There we go. Just putting it on there and setting the stitches. So then now what I'm going to do is open it up. And I'm going to open the seam up. So we got a lot of pressing to do on this block. And we're going to press that. Just put our iron down on it. Like that. Okay, nicely pressed, and I'm on a wool mat, so that's going to help set the stitches and set the seam even better. There we go. So I have said this before. I'll say it again and again and again. I don't consider myself a quilter, but the Accuquilt makes it easy to be a quilter. Plus, the most tedious part to me is cutting. And this one, there's so many die cuts involved that you can really only cut one block at a time. You can cut up to 6 layers, but with this, you just cut one block at a time. Okay, so we're all ironed. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come in and sew this on this side. So we're going to be sewing there. So I'm going to lay all those out. And Selima's keeping an eye out for questions.
I am.
And comments. Oh dear. Did I lose a triangle? There it is. So that's another thing that happens. You lose these little itsy bitsy pieces. There we go. For those of you who have cats, they probably like to get up on your table and snatch your pieces. So once again, I'm going to have my chair. Once again, I'm going to have my leader cloth ready to go. So the leader cloth prevents it from grabbing the fabric and pulling it down into the feed dogs. And then you get a nasty mess. If I were using a straight stitch plate, it wouldn't be as necessary, but I can't use a straight stitch plate since I moved my needle. Alright, so I'm lining up my seam to the edge of the foot, and I'm going. And the next one. And I have a knee lift on my Bernina, and I use it a lot because for things like that, I just use the knee lift to lift the foot up to position my fabric. Ah, yes, the little Bernina is wonderful. And it's just, you know, the Bernina, it's not as heavy as the big guns, of course, and it's a great size to bring to class. And Berninas they can handle stuff. All right. So this one's done. I think I'll just set this aside from, oh no, I can't. I gotta iron. Sorry, because it's involved in the next piecing too, these pieces. I was gonna set it aside and take care of it later, but we need to move forward with it. All right, let's change cameras again. And then I'm gonna grab some of my other pieces. I had to find the camera for a second. There we go. Oh, good, it's right side up. I mean, it's not upside down. All right, here we are. So just setting the seam again. Setting the seam. This is actually, I think, the first time we've had the iron featured on the camera, so the camera probably isn't the best angle, but it's working, right? We're making it work. There we go. All right, open it up. And this is the little mini Alicio, the baby mini me. And we, of course, have those in the store. But we also got a big one in, too. So this is nice for just to have right next to your table. Like we're doing today. Don't have to jump up and down to get to an iron. I'm not making Selima be my Vanna.
I could.
She could, and she'd be more than willing to, but I'm not going to make her. I got the little guy here. Sorry. Oh, now it's all focused. It's focusing in on my hand, not the thing. Hi, Louise. Oh, yes, Doris. I have the Panasonic at home. I love that. So the Panasonic is really nice because it is portable, but it's powerful, and it's pointed at both ends. Both ends have a point. And like for garment makers, it's kind of nice to have that. So here are my pieces. So the next thing in our formula is to these little squares. Next thing, oh, you can't see it. Anyway, there we go. Sorry, my paper hit the button. The next thing we're going to do is we got 4 of these little squares. So we are going to take these little squares and sew them on 2 of these guys. And then, so that'll be 2 units. And then with these, we are going to sew them on each side of this unit. This is like the center of the block. And then this is where I screw up, like also like that. And that's not right. You can't see it. We want this point to be going inward. So I need it to go like that. So I'm really, really good at sewing this wrong. So just do what I tell you. So what we'll do is we'll sew each of these units to one side and then come back and pick up iron and come back and pick up the other and sew those on. So we'll go ahead and chain all of these. And I'm going to keep my card out of the way and just talk you through it. Oh, I lost my leader. Let me get my leader again. So I'm positioning all my little fabric pieces so I'm ready to go. And let's get this center part. I mean, it's not hard, but it's the most time consuming of the block. Oh yeah, cordless and wireless, right? We like our technology. All right, so here I am. I'm going to sew the first square on, lining up my fabric again to the edge of the foot. My second little unit like that. And then I have the unit going to the square. Yeah, the protector, yeah, it had the little Alicio has a silicone mat that you put the iron on when you aren't using it. And Ellen's saying it reminds her of a turtle. I could do that, Doris. All right, here we go. We are, there we go. So we've got these guys done. Now we're going to go iron. So it's really quite handy there's a lot of ironing involved in this one, so it's really nice to have your iron right next, unless you're trying to get your steps in or something. It's really nice to have an iron right next to you. All right, so let's go ahead and set the seams. My ironing board is right next to my sewing machine, so I can just, if I'm lazy, I can just scoot my chair over. I don't even have to stand up. My seams are set. We're going to open them up. You don't want to like be pulling and tugging because you know those triangles, there's bias involved, so you don't really want to stretch it. There we go. So that's going to be ready for the next square. So anybody got big plans for the weekend?
I'm taking Rayan to a museum for extra credit.
Oh, Salima and Rayan are going to a museum. That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to, well, my Saturday routine is to clean house. How exciting is that? And then I want to have some time free because I'm going to work on a scan and cut project for Tuesday. And then I want to do some sewing too. Okay, here's these units going. Now we're going to take, wait, oh, all right. Now we're going to take this unit and sew it to this side. And we're going to take those two little squares and sew them to the other side. We're going to get everything lined up and ready to go. So it's kind of assembly line. So yesterday I cut 3 more of these blocks because I'm planning on making like a total of 5 of these. And so what I did was I assembled all these at one time so that I would I could like piece it kind of fast. Oh, it's going to rain in Florida tomorrow, huh? I wish it'd rain here someday.
I know.
And then Doris is going to work on her Sweet Land of Liberty pillow with Leanie. Yes. All right, back to the sewing
class
machine.
starts at 11 today.
Oh, the class starts at 11 today. All right. Oh, your son's coming to town, fancy pants. Oh, you're going to go to Dodger games? All right. See,
I love going to the Dodger games.
Salima likes Dodger games. You know, I got to tell you guys, I am not a fan of any sport. None. Especially baseball, sorry. I mean, football, if I watch the last 5 minutes, it's okay. Maybe the last 5 minutes of everything is good. Oh, but you're still going to join Leanie. Good. All right, let's get our fabrics lined up and sewn. And then find out what our next task is. This presentation's a little bit longer than last week, right?
It's
So-
okay, it's fun.
It's fun. I'm making something accomplished. All right, there's that one. Oops, let's get this going. I almost forgot. I got to keep going. Don't be. We are chain piecing. Keeping an eye on my fabrics of where they're at. And then once again, we are going to iron these. Press, I should say. No iron. I think my machine needs a little bit of TLC cleaning and oiling. And so on a lot. So I have great plans to make some curtains for my bedroom and another duvet cover. I'm a big fan of making duvet covers. The Derby, oh no, Doris, I don't even watch horse racing. I'm a big dud when it comes to sports.
How about basketball?
No, basketball, no. Nothing.
I love basketball. That's my first love.
Salima loves. Then after basketball, what?
Baseball.
Oh, then baseball. Don't you think baseball's boring?
No.
Ooh.
It's so much fun.
Oof.
It's actually funner to be at the game
Mm-hmm.
because you have your peanuts, you're eating your peanuts, and you're hanging out, and you're outdoors.
Do you eat Dodger dogs?
I do, I have. I
Oh,
have
you
in the
do?
past. I
Oof.
have.
Oof.
Yeah?
See, that's the only thing I don't like hot dogs. You know, I'll eat almost anything. I just draw the line at hot dogs and pancakes.
No pancakes?
I had a bad experience with syrup one time.
Oh, no.
Oh, what else do you put on pancakes besides syrup?
Nutella.
Nutella, but that's too sweet.
That's too sweet.
Jelly's good though.
Jelly.
Oops, I keep bumping my head on the microphone. Do
There's
you guys
also
hear a thump?
condensed milk, but that would be super sweet for you.
Yeah, see, maybe it's the sweet. Don't get me wrong, I like sweets.
How about
but
honey?
honey's good. I could do honey.
Oh, tennis and ice hockey are lots of fun in person. Oh, my parents love tennis.
Oh, so Liz likes, you know what? You guys should have a AAA day at Dodger Stadium.
Yes, we should.
And I'll say, have fun. There we go. All right, so we got these together. Now what is next? Let me go to my recipe card. So now what is next is to sew these pieces to this. And then look, we're going to have our little center star. See? So let's do that. And then the next part's pretty easy breezy. Easy breezy peasy. See, Jeannie wants to go. I think that would be fun for you guys. A AAA, and you could all wear.
I think we should have Fancy Pants organize it for us.
Do you hear that, Fancy Pants? You are being volunteered.
I just volunteered her.
You are so nice, Salima. All right, so this is where we start seeing it come together. And I'm gonna just, sometimes I have to pull a little bit to make the ends meet, but I think we're gonna be good. So Salima volunteered Fancy Pants. That's so special. I volunteer Fancy Pants to make cinnamon rolls. Fancy Pants is a good baker. Although I'm just taking people's words for it because I haven't actually tasted anything she baked. But
was that a hint?
Kinda. Poor Fancy Pants is being volunteered for a lot of things. We better stop it or she might stop tuning in.
I know,
We
right?
can't have that. So you guys, with last night's open house, we are going to start our in-person classes again in May. So excited to see everybody again. So Fancy Pants has season tickets.
Oh.
All right.
Oh, she gets good seats. Oh, gotcha.
You got, yeah, because don't you get the option of moving up in your seats when you, like if someone gives up their pass, then you get first dibs at better seats, I think, right? All right. So that one is done. Coffee cake. Oh my God. Fancy Pants made coffee cake.
I love coffee cake.
Anything with cinnamon in it, I tell you what, it's got to be good. All right, now. Oh, you're coming to see Trevor? Trevor is such a little cutie pie. All right, here we go. So our center part's done. We're going to set the seam. And then we're going to get ready to sew the next part. I hope you guys aren't finding this a little tedious. But quilting is repetitive, right? I find it relaxing when I can just sit at my machine and sew. Don't get me wrong, I like embroidery, but there's just
I think
something
sewing's your
about
first love, right?
Yeah, sewing's my first love. Of course, I start out sewing and not embroidery, but I will always love sewing.
That's why we get along, because mine's embroidery.
Yeah, so we aren't in competition. No competition here. Here we go. Sorry, you can't really see because my hands are always in the way. And I don't know, I don't think my hands are that big.
No, I couldn't move
I know,
that
it's
camera.
hard. It's hard.
In a position.
I mean, we can't justify 15 cameras.
I don't think my computer can as it is, it's
Yeah, her computer can't handle one more camera. It's like,
It's
give
done.
me a break. Give me a break.
but maybe my new one can.
Maybe. All right. So here's our little center done.
Oh, Janet's testimonial. Fancy Pants is an excellent baker. I have no doubt.
I know,
I have
right?
no
Anyone
doubt.
who takes the time to bake is going to
Yeah.
be good.
Yeah.
There's this guy I used to work with. He started a YouTube channel called Cajun Baker, and he makes desserts. So it's like, oh my God, I wish I lived closer to him. All right, so here's my center. Now we're going to start piecing the pieces that go around the center. So we have these guys here. These guys on my recipe are B. So what we're going to do, we're going to take our B's, and this piece on my recipe is C. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my C's and sew them to my B's. I think this is where I messed up yesterday. Believe me, I messed up more than one place yesterday.
Because you didn't have all of us watching you.
I know, so I'm like super conscientious today. Well, yesterday I was getting hungry. I
Uh-oh.
cannot be sewing when I get hungry.
No.
All right, here we go. So we are going to go ahead, go back to the sewing machine, and we're going to piece these guys. And then we're going to iron, and then we're going to piece, and then we'll iron. We're almost done. We got the most intricate, let's call it intricate instead of tedious. That wasn't tedious, it was fun. So can you imagine us doing this with all our friends in the classroom? So that's what's coming. Being together again. So the classes are on the website, if you missed it, like I said earlier. And there's little thumbnails and descriptions and things like that. Lots of fun stuff happening. All right. So even a beginner quilter could do this. And this die is called the Rising Star. And Salima does have it on the app. Oh, you know what else? I hear rumors that there's still end of the bolts available on the app. Check it out before they get snapped up. The end of the bolt is like my all-time favorite. We have to make room for new fabrics, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. All right. That's done. Yes, Deborah, I am opening the seams and pressing them open. That's what I'm doing. But first you press it to set the stitches, and then you open up and press. Press, not iron, press. Yeah, so Louise is teaching a couple classes. That'll be fun. And here we go. We have excellent teachers. So here we are. I'm sorry, you can't see. That we are setting the seam, Deborah. So we're just putting the iron and putting it down on the seam. That sets the stitches. And then now I'm going to go ahead and open the seam up and press. I'm taking the little silicone mat with me every time I'm pressing. Oh, yes, Doris. So Doris is asking, I'm actually offering a scan and cut class. It's in July sometime, and it's going to be hybrid. So we are going to do it in person and virtually. Of course, we're hoping all our sweet locals will come see us in person. That's what we're hoping for. But long story short, yes, there is a kit. So we're going to provide everything in that kit that you need. And of course, we're going to have fun. At least I hope we have fun. So here's all our units laid out. Now we're going to take our other triangles and sew them to the other side, like this. So how did these quilters come up with these patterns in the first place? Do you ever wonder about that? Because these patterns type of things have been around forever and ever and ever. So how did they come up with them? I don't know. They had artists, right? And then in the old days, they were it was made like out of flour sacks and things like that because they weren't going to waste anything.
So there is a new software that's coming out.
Oh.
Yes, by Floriani, and it's a quilting software. So if you want to create your own quilts, so it's similar to their other softwares as far as their platform, so it's super easy.
Uh-huh.
And you can create your own quilt blocks, you can add embroidery and create different things, paper piecing, all that good stuff.
Wow, nice.
I know.
So Trevor will probably be discussing that, right?
I'm sure he'll show it, yeah.
He's the software manager. All right, here we go. So we are lucky to have him. So I'm sure he's a busy guy. He lives in Canada where it's freezing all the time. So he's anxious to come to sunny California. He's been here a couple times, but every time, it's something different he's presenting, and it's just informational but fun too. I can hear my machine wants. She's thirsty. Necessity is the mother of invention. Exactly, Louise. Exactly. And plus, they made it beautiful, right? It wasn't just. It was beautiful. Okay, so these units are sewn together. And once more, back to I haven't done this much ironing in I don't know how long.
I know.
There we go. And then, so this blot, what we're doing now, so this is like the center, right? The miniature. And then we're building one similar around the outside. The big one. The mama star. Just setting my stitches. And then pressing the seam open. Oops. Bringing the thing with me. So I am going to, hopefully I'll get time this weekend to work on my little trivets and get them finished. Okay, now, the next thing we're going to do on our little recipe card is 2 of these units we're going to take with our point pointing up. We're going to take our squares and sew them on. And I kind of like it where the stripe goes opposite. I don't think it really matters, but you know, it's kind of fun. So we're going to sew these on like this. And then, so that's those 2 units. And then these 2 units, we are going to sew onto this. And we're going to sew it so our point points to the center, like that. Because you know, I'm good at messing that up. All right, let's go to the machine. We're almost done. Thanks for hanging in here with me. I'm just making sure my thread is going to the back. So if you guys have any, we take requests, you know. So if there's something you want to see on Friday Fun Day, let us know. Maybe if you want another die featured, let us know that. We are open-minded people here, and we will try our best to meet your requests. Okay, almost done there. Oh, thank you, Janet. I appreciate that. I enjoy doing them. All right, back to the iron. How many have you got? We should have made a contest that they count how many times we went to the iron and who got a prize. We should have done. Oops, wrong one. That's right. Okay, here we go. Once again. That would have been fun. We didn't think about that.
No, we didn't.
And then how many times Lynn bumps her head on the mic?
Oh yeah, that would have been a really good one.
Yeah.
We can move that one out of the way a little bit higher.
It's okay. Did you guys hear my head thump the mic? Thump, thump.
You know, I have to put it right in front of you so that we all can
No,
hear
we
you.
got you guys. When you attend a hybrid class, you'll see you become a contortionist to avoid cameras and mics and stuff like that. But thank God we had the virtual stuff, right? Or we would not. None of us would have survived COVID, I think. All right, there's that guy. Oh, look at, amazing. The points are good. And why is that? Not because Lynn's an excellent quilter. No, it's because Accuquilt makes it easy. Easy peasy piecing with the Accuquilt. So I did a Hunter Star. Does the yes, this Bernina model does have an automatic cutter, and I am using it. Okay, there we are. So let's sew on our next unit. We are almost done, my friends. Almost done. That's good. Do you see it coming together? Is it exciting? Exciting. Okay. So we get spoiled by all the new things on the machine, right? Like the thread cutter. But you know, I have to say what took me a long time to get used to is not having a presser foot lifter. Now this Bernina does have a presser foot lifter, but you know, like our Solarises and Luminaires and other models, they don't have presser foot lifters anymore. They got that button. That took me, I kept going in the back looking for the lifter. So it took me a minute to get used to that. Almost there. So this would make a really pretty quilt. It would. But I didn't want to make 4 quilts. I just wanted to make. All right. So what is your guys' favorite feature on the new technology type machines? What's your favorite feature? What is mine?
I know what mine is.
You for the embroideries, Doris says IQ. For the embroidery side, I like it because remember we used to just have the 4x4 hoops and you had to rehoop 100 times. So I like the bigger hoop size, but I also like it how easy it is. Like if it stops right away if the thread breaks or if you run out of bobbin. I like that. The old ones didn't do that. You were like happily tootling along and then realized, you know, you weren't sewing anymore. And then I like it that's easy to recover from. IQ and air thread around the serger, Jeannie, you are right.
Yeah.
Air threading and automatic tensions on the serger. Oh my gosh, it's an absolute must. So, yeah, I don't know, AAA always has to carry baby lock sergers. That's just all there is to it because those are the only ones I'm buying. All right, we are just getting these seams pressed open. Some of it needs a little repressing. Okay, now, dun 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 dun! Look at what we got. So now what we're going to do is sew this. Let's move the iron a little out of the way. Sew that to that. And that, oops, see? This is what I do all the time. Sew it wrong. No, it doesn't go that way. You don't have a star like that. Isn't that fabulous? Okay, let's go. And this time I'll sew the side and then not press up. This chair doesn't want to move for me. It is gorgeous sound. Yes, also Doris is saying it's easy to convert to cover stitch. Yeah, some machines, they make it a little more difficult, but it is easy on the baby lock. Thank you, Janet. IQ, what? IIQ and what's MDC?
My design center.
Oh, there. Oh my gosh.
Hello, Lynn.
It's hard to get, so, you know, we all live on acronyms, right?
Oh my God, it's crazy.
And when I started, I went from accounting job at Hughes Aircraft to an IT job at DirecTV, and oh my gosh, they had all these different acronyms for all these different systems. I thought, I am never, ever, ever going to learn them. but I did, so. But this job is the best job of all, I have to say. AAA is the best of all. There we go. Done, 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 done. Oh, no, we're not done.
One more side.
One more side. Remember to sew it right, or you'll do a lot of ripping out like I did yesterday. Usually I'm a make it work kind of girl, but with this, that doesn't work. Make it work doesn't work. So I guess with quilting you have to be a really good sewer because it's hard to fake it, right? I used to make boxer shorts for my husband, and I made some for my brother-in-law, and I don't know how I did it, but I sewed the fly shut, and then I didn't catch it, and I gave it to him, and he was not happy with me. I thought it was kind of funny, though. So if you ever want to play a dirty trick,
Tell him it's a new style.
Yeah, it's new. Sew the fly shut. Oh, yeah, acronyms are hard. All right. One last press. Of course, there's a lot of acronyms now, LOL, all that. There's still some of those, I don't know what they mean. Have to have a little dictionary for them. And then my friend one time in high school, we actually sewed a lot in high school, my friend. Well, one of my friends and I, we sewed a lot of garments. But she made a white bathing suit, which is cool, you know, it makes you look really tan, but she didn't line it. And we were at my friend's house at her swimming pool, and we went swimming, and she came out of the swimming pool, and you could see it all. It was like a see-through bathing suit. Luckily, we weren't at the beach. We aren't anywhere public. She was super embarrassed. And then, you know, Leanie likes her wash-away thread. Just make sure you don't do that when you're making your bathing suit by accident. Make sure you change it. That's a dirty trick to play on someone too. Make their bathing suit with wash-away thread. Here we go, my friends. I'm going to fine-tune my pressing later. I won't do that now. So there it is, the finished block. So now what I'll do is, there are some uneven sides, so I'll square it up. And then I will measure to make the border. So my border, I cut it 2 inches, and so it'll finish 1.5 inches. Yeah, so there's 1/4 inch seams throughout the whole thing. So that is it for today. I hope you guys had fun. I had fun. Thank you, Ellen. Thank you, Jeannie. I know Fancy Pants, she was like super embarrassed. She learned a really good lesson that day though, right? So we are open today till 3 o'clock, 10 to 3. Come see us if you can. Thank you, Fancy Pants. Thanks, Margie. So come see us if you can. Don't forget to check out the website for the classes. Don't forget to go look at the replay of the open house if you weren't able to make it. Yeah, the points are really pointed. And if I press it better, it'll show better. So don't forget, lots of things to remember, lots of things to do. We can always keep you busy on a weekend if you need something to keep busy. And it's always our pleasure to be here for you, and thank you for being here with us. We really, really, really appreciate it. So all of you have a fabulous weekend, and I hope you get some sewing time in, or whatever fun times you want, and take care. We'll see you again soon. Bye.